welcome to my channel. And today we will talk about first semester assignments for the subject organizational behavior, and that is for December 2022 cycle. So that's the very first time for many of the students who are working on the assignment. So I just want to explain a couple of things which are important while preparing your assignments. And before briefing that, just have a couple of more things which I want to discuss about the cycle, about the assignment process. Key things which to be done, needs to be done, and need not to be done. The very first one is basically they are having the two cycles in NMIMS. The one is the regular cycle, which is June cycle, and the December cycle. The second one is for the backlog cycle, which we call it as the backlog cycle. That is specifically for those students who are not able to submit the assignments in the previous cycle. So it's April and the September. Maybe if you get some copy case, or maybe you get the 0 marks during the exams, then you need to give the again in the backlog cycle. So backlog cycle is not applicable for all the students, but yes, the regular cycles is applicable for all the students. So if you have enrolled in the month of maybe June, July, August, September, then these assignments will be visible in your portal. How you can see the assignments? You just log into your portal with your SAP ID. Post that, just go to the left panel. In the left panel you will having the link for the examination, and in that you will having the assignment, so you can just download those PDF and start working on your assignments. Two important things which are very important while preparing your assignments is one is copy case, and the second is plagiarism. So before jumping into that, I just want to give a brief for that, what is the assignment pattern, what is the structure of the assignment. So every subject is splitted into two parts. One is assignment and the second one is exams. Assignments cover 30 marks and exams cover 70 marks. So in 30 marks you will be getting three questions: first, second, third A and third B. Each question is of 10 marks. Third question is having 5 marks. In each question you need to write 1000 words. It's not mandate about 1000 words, but yes, plus minus 10% is acceptable. So in first question you need to write something around 1000 words. In second, the same. In the third A you need to write 500, and third B again 500 words. Two important aspects: one is the copy case. So don't ever share your assignment with your colleagues. Many students think that, okay, we have uploaded the assignment, now I am free, now I can easily share it with my colleagues. So the pattern is not like that. The pattern is simply they just collect all the assignments for the due date. Like the due date here for sem 1, or maybe for all the semester, it's 29th of November. So you are eligible to upload your assignments till that date. It doesn't matter if you're uploading it on the very first day or maybe on the last day. Some students say, okay sir, if I upload it on the very first day, do I expect some more marks? So dear, no, it's not like that. So after 29th of November, they simply close their window, and they are having all of the assignments in their bucket. They use certain kind of AI technologies to just identify that whether is there any duplicity with the assignments, irrespective of the timing uploaded first or second. If they find any assignment as same or maybe the similar one, right? Sometimes we think, okay, I'm just taking some few keywords and just update the is MR, or maybe just reframe it from active to passive voice. So don't do this because that can be tracked by the softwares. So always prepare your assignment, and please don't share. You can share your concept, you can explain the concept, but don't share your assignment right away with your colleagues. Otherwise all your efforts will go in vain, and both will get the 0 marks. So it's there is no use of preparing all those assignments. The second part comes about the plagiarism. So plagiarism is a state when we are using somebody else content, maybe some article, maybe some case study, maybe some other thing, and we are just writing down exactly in the same way as it is being mentioned in that case study. So in that case it will fall under plagiarism. I have already shared the video where you can just see that whether your question is falling into the plagiarism, and also provide certain tips how to avoid those plagiarism. So refer to book, refer to NMIMS content, refer to internet, refer to Google, anywhere, but don't write exactly what is being written over there. Just try to reframe, just try to add the things in your mind, and after that write it down in your own words while writing on your assignments. Now coming back to our assignments for organizational behavior, so let's start with your assignment. So if you see, this is available on your portal. We are having the three questions: first, second, third, and third B. So uh, I'm not sure that the students are aware of my YouTube channel, but for newbies, I'm just uploading the content. I'm just explaining, okay, this is being asked in the question, what needs to be written, what page numbers to be referred from the book. So page number you can refer, but you are open to write it from Google. So page number are just to get a basic understanding, okay, this is being asked and what needs to be written in the answer. So let's start with our assignments. So going back to our presentation, so let's start with our question number first. Amar works for an IT company as a project coordinator. His boss Ajay is very adamant and wants to work to be done according to his way without even considering any other's perspective. If Amar commits any minor mistake, also he is reprimanded in front of the entire team. Ajay wants Amar to stay late beyond the office hours even when his work is completed. Consider a given situation and explain the pitfalls in the leadership shown by the Ajay. So it's simply a case study about talking about the bad leadership. So Ajay is the manager and Amar is a reporting employee for him. And if you see, he's very adamant and he's sort of, you can say, a Hitler type approach where he want his things to be done and irrespective of any personal linkage or any personal support to his employee. So a couple of things which we can see from this, okay, we need to explain about the leadership, we need to explain about the pitfalls of the leadership. So these are the pretty much straightforward which you can see, okay, this is being asked in the question. Besides this, it's important to write to describe about the managers, because it's more or less about the managers or the bad bosses, right? So it's important to explain the concept in respect to this case study. So let's see what needs to be referred and which page numbers we can go through from the book. So it's mentioned page number 138. So I'm going to the 138 page number. So firstly, it's about leadership, definition of the leadership. So leaders are the individuals who establish the direction for the working group of individuals who gain commitment from these group of members to this direction and who can motivate these members to achieve the directions outcome. So this is a direct definition given by the Conquer. So here in this case, you need not to reframe this definition, because this is a direct definition. So definition and formulas are barred from the plagiarism, so you can just write it directly. After that, you can explain, okay, what's the leadership. It's about the influencing and persuading the employees in a particular way to just achieve certain kind of desired goals and desired efforts. It involves many communication skills. It involves many targets which needs to be achieved. It involves certain kind of risks, how the decisions to be taken in the certain situations. It's about how you motivate your employees, your colleagues, based on the certain skill set, based on the certain commitments. So these all things you can refer in terms of the leadership. Definitely you can write these skills in the leadership as well, about the assertive skills, communication skills, motivation skill, and the adaptive skills. If you think that you are having the lag of the words, then definitely you can mention these four and just write it one or two liners for these skills. Then next part comes as page number 141, managers versus leaders. Why we need to refer to this content? Because when you read this content, you can relate more of the Ajay Amar story, right? Like managers influence while the leaders inspire. So in this case you see that he was very adamant to his work. He said, okay, if he has said something without thinking from the other's perspective, or whether without taking or discussing with the employees, he want things to be done. So he was more or less like a manager where he just influenced for the things. He was not an inspiring leader. So you can just define it in terms of the case study. Managers create circles of power while leaders create the circle of influence. If you see, Ajay is more or less more or less acquainted to his power, and he was you can say misusing his power. So he just want to get the things done. He never tried to influence his employees in a positive way. Managers work to achieve a certain given objective while leaders create the target. Manager in this case, Ajay, was more or less work oriented. He just simply think of the goal which needs to be achieved. irrespective of any personal harms or any personal issues. He was not bothered about that. But if we talk about the leaders, so leaders more think towards the target for the future. So this is the difference. Additionally, you can specify these differences if you want to relate these differences with respect to the case study. Then next part comes on the page number 147. So if you go to the page number 147, so if you see, this is actually being asked in the question pitfalls and the leadership, but obviously you you never write directly the pitfalls of the leadership. You need to explain a lot many things in a 1,000 words question to gain more and more marks. So if we talk about the leadership, there are three pitfalls. One is the personal, second is organizational, and the third one is environmental. In terms of the personal pitfalls, most important one is the criticism. When these personal pitfalls which is faced by the leader in such a situation, as people associated with the prior initiatives experience a sense of loss and attempt to make a personal issue with the leader. The same thing happened in this case. The second one part comes as the dictatorship, like the Hitler approach, wherein leader become a dictatorial in the approach rather than being collaborative and discussing with the employees. Role confusion. Sometimes there's a confusion with the role, and he thinks that okay, if he has given that designated role, he can misuse that power. So role and designation are the two different things a leader should keep in his mind. The next part comes as the organizational behavior, organizational pitfall, sorry. It something relates where the leaders not able to understand the organization and not able to relate the goals and objectives. So this is organizational. This is not much related, but being it is being asked, you need to mention this also in the answer. Then next comes as the environmental pitfall, where there's a continuously change in the environment, new policies, new plans being implemented time to time. There's a restructuring, reorg happening in the organization, which leads to the uh, to the misunderstanding with the certain things. That part comes under the next pitfall for the leadership. So I think the question number one is pretty much clear. Okay, these all things you need to refer. Now going to the page, question number second. Second is about a Samir who works as a team leader in a multinational company. When his team members perform well, goes out of his way to serve the client, he awards them. The award can be in the form of a gift voucher or maybe in form of appreciation meal. Samir also encourages the good behavior by removing or handling the situation which may lead to the undesirable behavior. Because of this practice, it was the best performing team in the office analyze the situation and explain the elements of the reinforcement by Samir. So this is just reverse of what you see in the question number one. So Samir is a good employee, is a good leader. He always help his his team. He always awards them if they perform well. He always uh, try to accommodate the undesirable behavior. So these are the certain things which we can see from the case study. So let's see what page numbers to be referred. So firstly, you just need to explain the definition and the meaning of the reinforcement. So going to the page number 98. So if we go to the page number 98, we can see that firstly it is being asked about the meaning of reinforcement. So it is a behavior. It's basically a process where certain kind of behavior is being standard in an individual. There are four types of reinforcement. One is positive, second is negative, third one is punishment, and the fourth one is extension. So in positive enforcement, you can see if one is behaving actually well, then we try to trigger that thing again and again so that he outperform again and again. That's a positive enforcement. Negative enforcement is we try to remove such situations which create a negative impact. Like sometimes if a employee is coming late, and if you start punishing him or again and again, then definitely he will become casual and become used to. So we just try to remove that kind of negative enforcement by negative enforcement. Then next part is come as punishment. In punishment, when you find something negative, Then you punish the employees. It's simply like in the school when teachers punish us when we were not doing the homeworks and we were not doing performing well, or we were doing some mischief in the class. So it's about punishment. And the last one is the extension. It's the completely absence of the enforcement for lowering the probability of occurrence of undesirable behavior of the results. Now next part comes about the explain about the reward system. Why we mentioned this thing in this answer? Because if you see the question, Samir is more or less encouraging his employees by providing him correct rewards on timely basis, or maybe based on the performance. So it's important to understand the concept of rewards and how it will be helpful in the reinforcement techniques. So rewards maybe in the form of monetary benefits, maybe like in this question he is providing certain kind of gift vouchers, or maybe some appreciation mails, so that the person always feel motivated. So every organization has a different strategic reward system for its employees, maybe in the form of compensation, benefits, recognition, or appreciation. So you can explain all these things. Reward system has a certain, you can say, features, which is it's provide a mixed element of the monetary and the non-monetary part. It communicates the reward at the right time to encourage the employees. It connects the reward with the performance, which helps in yielding the positive result for both organization and employees. It also reflects the promotion and the compensation part. It provides the opportunity to link the appraisal with the reward system. Then last but not the least, you can specify a bit about the ways to administer reinforcement, although it's not a mandate part. But yes, if you are having short of words, you can surely mention these things. Why it is again important? Because reward system is one aspect, but second thing is, what is the way of rewarding, and what is the frequency, whether it's the continuous one or it's the intermediate one. So continuous ones means when you are having some positive behavior again and again, you are just reinforcing, you are just rewarding him again and again. The second thing is intermittent, when the acceptance or the desirable behavior is reinforced, but not each and every time. It's simply the amount of reinforcement given once for his good performance for the past 1 year or maybe 2 years. Like it's mostly you can see in the companies, when the yearly appraisal comes, then if you outperform, then they just give you a hike of maybe 15%, irrespective of the company policies. So it's a one time benefit. Then next part comes as, what's the schedule, whether it's a ratio schedule or it's a interval schedule. Fixed ratio, variable ratio, fixed interval, variable interval. So fixed interval, as the name suggests, on the timely basis, and after 2 months or after 3 months you are just rewarding the employees. Variable one is like, it's not fixed, maybe you can award him today, after that he has to wait for 3 or 4 months, then maybe a year, and after that maybe within 2 months. So it's a very variable one. Next is fixed ratio. So ratio means the amount of benefit you are giving. Like suppose if you are having a team of 5 people and each of one has outperformed, each of one is working for a different client. One is very critical client, one is very tough client to handle, and second one is very easy. But yes, both are happy clients. So one way is, you can reward all your 5 employees the same thing. Like okay, I am just giving you a voucher 500 bucks every month, or maybe one time. So it's the same. So most of the people think okay, it was easy to handle the easy client, so why should we bothered about working with a tough client? So they are having such kind of mentality. So that comes under the fixed ratio. But second is comes as the variable ratio. In that case, it depends on the percentage or the amount of reward which you are giving. If you are having the tough client, having more than working with more than 5 years, and he need the things on timely basis, and he is happy with your performance, then you reward you that employee 2000 bucks. And if he's an easy client, he's having a very casual approach, then and definitely being he is also happy, so you can give that employee maybe 200 or 500 rupees a voucher. So it depends on the percentage of yeah, yeah, percentage of toughness, or you can say it's purely varies on company to company, employer to employer, or the way how they are dealing with their certain services or products. So it purely depends on the nature of the task your employee is doing. So this is about the reinforcement schedules. So I think the second question is pretty much clear. Now moving to our third question. The third question is, Renita Parker was a trainer for a taste-to-taste multinational company in FMCG business. She worked brilliantly with the executives on their writing and helped them to feel more confident about it. She worked with the top executive as well as shop floor level. She realized that teaching the shop floor employees was her call, and she wanted to work more with them. She was paid quite well, and majorly she was dealing with the top employers, being she was dealing with the top executives. Renita met Marker, who was her supervisor, and explained to him that she wanted to be associated in teaching and training the shop floor employees because many of them could not write anything other than their names. She also agreed to work on a reduced salary and started offering English classes as an added benefit to them. Although the classes took some extra man hours of the employees, but their productivity increased, and even some of them became to apply for the supervisory positions. What content theory would explain why Renata was unhappy despite of the high income? So it's a very natural behavior, not for all, but yes, most of us. Sometimes salary is an important factor. For example, taking a very hypothetical example, like I'm getting a 1 lakh of salary. My expectation is suppose 1.2. Next year, my company promotes me and give me 1.2 or 1.3. I'm pretty much satisfied. Okay, I'm getting 1.3. What else needs in the life? But sometimes we think I'm doing a repetitive task again and again. There's no challenge into this, right? Suppose my job to handle certain clients, certain normal clients, which I'm already handling. So I think there's nothing challenge. What I was doing yesterday, the same thing as I am today, and same thing I will do tomorrow, right? And in that case, my learning growth is stopped. My main motivation or any other thing is getting hampered, right? So in this case, I will think, okay, I am just looking for something which is challenging for me, some challenging environment, maybe some challenging tasks, maybe certain things which will encourages me and which will help me. So in this case, Renita Parker is also having the same issue. She was having high salary, she was taking care of the executives and being at the supervisory level, or maybe at the CEO level. They are already having well versed in their communication and in their writing skills, so teaching them was not a big challenge. But yes, those who are working on wages, the labor class, or maybe the workers at the lower level, they are not good enough in English, or maybe they are not comfortable in the communication skills. So tackling them, enabling them to just work more, to just learn more, so that you can also grow and go to the next level, that is an important and that is a challenging task which Renita was supposed to take up. And she was pretty much interested, even working with the lower salary, even giving the English classes tuition. So it's all about the motivation part, because salary is not coming into the picture in this case. So it's being asked, what is the content theory for this? They are provided four content theories in the book. You can use anyone. It's not a mandate. Okay, this is the particular content theory which suits the Renita Parker's case. Every person has a different thought process. Every theory can be fitted in any case. It depends how you explain those stuff. Let me show you how this can be related. So firstly, go to the page number 120. Firstly, we just give an introduction about the content theories. So going to the page number 120. So firstly, we just need to explain about the content theories. It investigate into what the motivates the people. Again, we are talking about a motivational factor. So let's talk about the very first one, is the Maslow's need hierarchy theory, in which he classified the needs into the five different aspects. One is the psychological needs; it's the very basic needs. Next is safety needs, the safety protection from the from physical emotional harm. Next is social needs, affection, belongingness, acceptance. Next is the esteem needs, internal esteem, self respect, or maybe certain esteem factors like the status recognition. And last one is the self actualization, where you realize one's potential self growth and the self fulfillment. So if you see, first three are the common. At the fourth one, he was looking for the internal factors: self respect, achievement, from her perspective. External factors she was already being having because she was being recognized, she was having a good status. Self actualization is again to the extreme top level, wherein all the needs being satisfied, and now they realize, okay, this is being done, salary is not a factor for me, now I just need for my self growth. So in Parker case, you can use Maslow's need theory, where you give a brief about the esteem and the self-actualization needs in detail, and how Renita is more related to the Maslow's need. It is a little bit less relatable, but yes, you can relate. Now going to the second part, the second theory, it's a Hubbard two-factor theory, where he discussed about the two factors. One is the intrinsic factor, and the second one is the extrinsic factor. One is the motivation factor, and second is the hygiene factor. So motivation factor is something which motivates the people to work upon, and extrinsic factor it's which creates a dissatisfaction in the employee. So in this case, motivator is again the salary was a motivator, but he was looking for more motivation to just work with the with the ground level employers, right? So in employees. So in this case, intrinsic factor is this, and the extrinsic factor was he was not satisfied with his salary. He was having a level of dissatisfaction. So you can mention this two factor theory as well. Then the third part comes as the ERG theory. So ERG theory is divided into three parts. One is existence, second is relatedness, and the third one is growth. So existence is psychological and safety needs, which we had discussed in the first level, which was already being covered in case of Parker. Sorry, I just missed the name. It was Lenita Parker. Yeah, Lenita Parker. Relatedness is something. It's a mix of needs and interacting with other people to get more recognition and feel secure among the people. Again, in this case, she was already being recognized and interacting with lot with people like at the upper level executives, but she was not interacting with the lower class people, or you can say the ground floor workers or the daily wages workers. And the third part comes as the growth. So growth involves the people's self esteem and the personal achievement for the self actualization. So if you see, this is quite relatable to the very first one, the Maslow's theory. And in this case also, we talk about existence already happened in case of Danita. Relatedness is the mid level, and growth is the final level which he wants to achieve. So EIG theory can be relatable. We can relate EIG theory with respect to the Anita Parker's case. Last but not the least, about the McLean need theory. So here there are three motivation factors. One is the achievement, second is power, and the third one is affiliation. So achievement is when you are driven by the complex challenges, where you want to find the best solutions for the problems. It is more or less towards a goal oriented. Power is to control over situation, and they are very influential. You are being motivated, executives are strongly motivated by the power. The last one is affiliation, when you are having strong desire to belong, you are having certain relationship, you want to strive certain uncertainty, you want the good team players. So if you see, the last one theory also relates the best one for the Renita's case. And if you talk about in this, he was more or less looking towards the achievement. So these are the all theories which we discuss, and you can relate any one of these with the Renita. In my case, if I write the assignment, then definitely I will go for the Macklin's need theory. But again, there is no foundation that okay, you need to stick to this particular theory, or this is the one which needs to be fitted for this Renita Parker case. Now moving to the third B question, it's again related to the third question. Yeah, in the third B question, it's being asked. Ranita seems to be have drifted into being a teacher, given her needs and motivation. Do you think teaching is an appropriate profession for her? One thing which I just need to discuss in between, it suddenly comes in my mind. Many students say, okay, sir, in the third question, you are having third A and third B, and firstly, we are having a case study. So, do firstly, we need to write the third question, explain, then write third A and then third B? No. You need to write third A and third B directly. There is no fund of third because you won't get any marks for third. So, you just need to write answer 1, answer 2, answer 3, and answer 3B. And in answer 3 and 3B, you need to relate your terms, you need to relate your words with respect to the case study being asked in the question, in the third question. So coming back to our third B question. So if we talk about the third B question, we need to explain two things. One is the need and the second one is motivation. It's pretty much straightforward. In needs, you can use any one of the four which we discussed earlier. Like in my case, I'm just using Maslow's need hierarchy theory for psychological safety needs, social needs, esteem needs, self-actualization needs, and going back, yeah. And the next part comes about the motivation. So if we talk about the motivation, so motivation is about how you get motivated, how you just achieve certain task, how multiple techniques can be used, what is the motivational technique. So you need to explain about all these things. Like if we talk about motivation techniques with respect to Rita Parker, then first one is the monetary and the non-monetary benefits. It's definitely the most important stuff. In every case, nobody will work for free of cost. Everybody needs some salary, some wages for that, maybe a lower one or maybe the higher one. So this includes the benefits, monetary benefits like the incentives, bonuses, and non-monetary benefits like the gift vouchers or electronic gadgets, which are being given by their employees. Next is the job enrichment. So enrichment is to get a more competitive, to share the more responsibilities, to enrich your existing task, to take up any additional responsibilities. Like in this case, Rita Parker was doing. She was taking care of the executives very well. They were well trained. They were having good communication. Everything was going good, but she want to take up the additional responsibility of training the ground workers. Next is the job rotation. So, referring to the assigning the different roles, responsibility is quite similar one to the previous, where we are rotating the roles. In this case, she was mentoring the other people, and she want to enhance the performance level by keeping them well motivated. Then next is the goal setting, assigning certain goals and try to accomplish them within the time frame. Alternative working schedule is flexible work schedules for the various organizations having a work-life balance. Employee skill upgradation, timely upgradation, like being he's a teacher, you always like to learn new things, and it's important for her to get more and more upgrade to her technology and the other stuff going in the market. So that's another aspect. So these are the certain motivational factors or motivational things which you can specify in terms of the Anita Parker case. So I think we have covered all the three questions. What is being asked, what needs to be written, and how we can refer the books and the page numbers. If you have any doubts or facing any issue regarding this assignment or any other assignment, just feel free to just connect to me at ngsc.mba@gmail.com. If you like this video, do like to subscribe and stay connected for further videos. Thank you so much.